East.
Hello everybody, my name is Jason Piercey and this is Out of the Fog. Says so, right here. Today we have two totally different things to talk about. One is a local podcaster, Mr. Hulk Caesar. Steve Sharpe, of course, is his not pen name, not stage name. What do you call it when it's on the radio? Mic name. And also we're going to talk to the tournament director of the Royal Newfoundland Regiment Memorial High School Hockey Tournament that's going on in like a week. It's 80 games over 6 days. It's a really big, cool thing. We're going to talk about all that stuff as soon as we come back right after this. Welcome back to Out of the Fog. Without any ado or hesitation, ladies and gentlemen, the tournament director of the Royal Newfoundland Regiment Memorial High School Hockey Tournament, Mr. Gerard Brennan.
Hi,
hello, sir. How you doing?
Yeah, good. All busy, you know, getting ready for the tournament.
I imagine.
Yeah.
So, how many years is this now?
This
dozen,
is the
10?
8th year now.
Yeah.
Started in 2016. We had the hiatus with the pandemic, of course. You know, I mean, 21, 22, I think, or 2021, I can't remember right offhand. No, 22 we had it.
It's all distant memory now.
It's all distant memory now, right? So this is the 8th year the tournament's been in existence, and we've played 6 of those 8 years. The tournament's been held 6 of those 8 years.
Yeah.
So, yep.
So, a memorial tournament, of course, referencing the Royal Newfoundland Regiment, its military history, Battle of the Somme, the Blue Petits. Actually, that's interesting. A tournament all-star, first team tournament all-star, could be called the Blue Petits, and they could all be gifted a Blue Petit R&R jersey. That would be cool.
And they certainly would be, and it's something that we can certainly look to expand on in future years.
Yeah, that sounds
maybe
fun.
in the 10th anniversary of the tournament or something like that.
There
you
you
know
go.
Like,
there you go. And you can name them all Piercey because I thought of it. That could be no?
Yeah,
no?
absolutely.
All right, whatever. So high school teams all across the province, male and female.
Yeah, so we
got expansion this year too.
Yeah, so we've got the high school teams, 23 high school teams represented by 32 teams, 16 boys, 16 girls, some of the best high school hockey you'll see in the province, from coast to coast to coast. The only team we're lacking really is out of Labrador, and we're working on how do we go about getting a team in from Labrador. So
yeah, 'cause I don't know if, I guess hockey parents, I say hockey parents, but like parents of kids that play hockey know that it's an expensive hobby for your kid to have at the very entry level. But the better they get, it don't get cheaper.
No,
and travel hockey can be very expensive.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, those teams are fundraising throughout the year. I mean, they were asking us about this tournament, in September, because that's when they wanted to start their fundraising. Like teams had this tournament on their calendar, focused, ready to get in, just waiting to get the invoice.
And they're associated with schools, with their high schools, as opposed to whatever minor hockey association. So it's two entirely different things, and I don't know if people recognize that.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure. And that's the reason we typically run our tournament the week after Easter to allow all the minor hockey programs to run their tournaments throughout that week.
Yeah, because you could miss a lot of players.
Oh yeah, there's lots of players. Under 15, under 18. Tier 2, Tier 3 level players that are all playing hockey within their minor systems. And,
that's right.
And truly, they want to represent their high school, so that's where they want to be. So
the only time I played hockey in high school, I was a goaltender, and the only time that I ever started a high school hockey game on Friday night was when the AAA team was doing something else because they didn't have the good guy to play,
Yeah.
so they had to call me up.
Yeah.
So like I get like if you want to have a tournament that really does showcase the type of skill and talent and competition and ability that exists across all of our high school teams, you can't really have it when there's other tournaments going on.
No, and that's that's some of the challenges we have. Working with Newfoundland schools and NL schools and Hockey NL, we kind of, and of course the rinks, they get the Ice Time Paradise, and this year of course the Glacier's on board because we've expanded, so we had to bring the Glacier on board to get the additional ice time. So we're working with all those organizations to find the appropriate fit. The week after the Easter program seems to work best for us. And that's what we've been doing now for the last.
Getting the ice time alone has got to be, that's got to be tough.
Yeah, it's a lot of, like this year, for example, we're playing 80 games, 40 boys games, 40 girls games. Included this year is new to the tournament is a bronze medal game. So, like this year, for example, we're playing 60 of those games out of the Paradise and 20 of those games out of the Glacier.
And you've lengthened the game times also.
So the boys' game hasn't changed, but we've lengthened the girls' games this year. So the girls now are going to go to 3 12-minute stop time. Which is talking to all the powers that be in the hockey world, Hockey NL and the school, the Metro leagues and that sort of stuff for the girls' leagues. That seems to be the going time frame for the girls to play.
So what
hockey.
did they play before? Run time 3:20s or something like that?
Yeah, last year we played 3:10s. I think they were all 3 stop time 10s. So we've increased, the extra 2 minutes. The girls actually ice time playing is 36 minutes. The boys are I think 40 minutes, 2 15s and a 20. So or 50 minutes, whatever is the boys' time. So.
And then cleaning the ice pit. I mean, it's a logistical nightmare to put together a tournament that large.
Well, you got to balance, like obviously you got male and female, so you got to make sure that the dressing rooms are balanced properly and there's no crossover there. And of course, you're trying to maintain security down in the dressing room areas because you don't want anybody going through. Certainly, we're responsible for all those kids. And then
it's down to the staff that are at the rinks and the attendees, the spectators. And then, of course, that goes right down to, like, is there enough toilet paper and cans of Pepsi at the, it's a whole thing, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of moving parts, certainly, to put off a tournament this size, for sure. And, we couldn't do it without our volunteers and that come on board. And we're always looking for volunteers to come out and help, and we've got a tremendous, support of key volunteers. There's a number of us that are on the board of directors. A couple of us are retired. 3 of us, I think, are retired. All the rest are still working full-time jobs, so they manage to take time off for this week. Which is a lot. To commit to. So, not only volunteering, they're taking their own vacation time or working double shift somewhere else to make up to get this week off to help support the program. Can
we go back in time a little bit and discuss the inception and how a high school hockey tournament came to be affiliated with the Royal Newfoundland Regiment? Sure. So Holy Spirit High School was the and of course with the coach and the team staff and the principal. And John Lee at the time, I believe.
John is the coach. So they came up with the idea that they wanted to do something for the 100th anniversary of the Battle of Beaumont-Hamel. That was 2016. So with that, they approached the regiment. The regiment said, yeah, love the idea, give them the blessing and let John go on. Now, the first year, John pretty well did it all on his own with the support of the parents and the hockey parents and some staff members of the school. So that happened in 2016. 2017, they come back to the regiment and asked if we could get a little bit more involved. We did in that we've identified some major trophy, individual awards and team awards to help, grow that tournament. So 2016, 2017, right up till last year, it was typically a boys tournament. 16 of the best boys high schools in the Metro Avalon area played in that tournament. Last year we expanded and we opened it up across the island, and not only did we do that, we also introduced the girls game. It started initially with 12 girls teams. And then there was more interest after the tournament, and this year we're pleased to say that we've gone out of 16 girls, 16 boys. We've expanded the ice time, and we've got teams coming now from Portabass right across the island. Every region is represented: West, Central, East, Avalon, and the metro areas, right?
So there's a couple of things instantly to come to mind as you talk about this. One is the wild success that the PWHL has had in viewership, and whether or not we see that on the ground with female hockey here locally, because it seems like there's a connection. Because there's something to strive for, right?
Yeah, certainly it's growing. Like
there's more than just the Olympic team. Not that that's not a big deal, but there's other places, right?
Yeah, the girls, from what I'm hearing is, the girls were adamant about this tournament, and there's all kinds of tournaments going on that young ladies are involved in: volleyball, basketball, ball, hockey, you name it. They're involved in every sport out there. Most of them now are got their focus for this tournament. This is where they want to be. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. We're excited to have all those players, male and female, participate in this tournament.
So speaking of watching and attending and enjoying quality hockey, people are going to be able to stream these. We're going to be able to see this.
Yeah, like our major sponsor, pleased to say, is Rogers again, are televising this. All the games will be live streamed. We're working with Roger now from the telecommunications side of the house to get the games.
Just for clarity to the audience, it's not Roger that Rogers is named after. It's a different dude. That would be Ted Rogers. This is Roger. He's the station manager. But it's just obviously very funny that his name is Roger.
It is funny. Yeah, I have a hard time associated with it initially when I got introduced.
Yeah, well, it's all about him, really.
Yeah, so they're televising all the games. We're doing it out of both arenas this year, out of the Paradise Ice Surface, out of the Glacier. It's all wired up. We'll be bringing games from all the arenas.
So what are the dates?
Dates are 15th of April to the 21st. Opening
80
ceremonies.
Games. 80 games, 6 days.
Opening ceremonies around the 19th, Friday the 19th at 7:30 for the opening ceremonies. Prior to the opening ceremonies is a skills competition.
Cool.
96 players involved in the skills competition. 3 from each team. Fun, no doubt about it.
Are we going to air that? Are we going to air the skills competition?
Yeah,
that would be really cool. Yeah, we are. Absolutely.
Yeah, no,
so for a schedule, for timelines, for all those things, I imagine, you'll be able to get it through social media, through Rogers. We'll put everything that we can up there. But resource on your side for the tournament.
Royal Newfoundland Regiment, Facebook, we have our Twitter, we have a number of different social media outlets that people can find out what the schedule. Check with the arenas, Paradise Double Ice Complex, the Glacier. They'll have it posted on their webpage as well in regards to the scheduling. So pretty well the tournament runs from April 15th. We got games in the evening, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursdays when we really kick it off around 1 o'clock, and we run right through into the championship game on Sunday evening around 5 or 6 o'clock is when the championship game is.
So if you brought a pillow, you could probably just stay there.
Pretty well. I think that's what the volunteers are going to be doing anyway. At least the board of directors will be living.
You haven't got to tell somebody at Rogers that how important volunteers are, because that's almost everything here is run from volunteerism. It's a beautiful thing. Gerard, thank you very much. What you guys are doing is incredible. And I'm just going to another plug for how great everybody at Rogers is, especially you, Roger. I'm looking at you, buddy. Thank you very much for watching. We'll be right back after this.
Your opinion matters, and we want to hear from you. Get in touch with us using our viewer feedback line, your direct connection to shaping the shows you love. It's easy. Just grab your phone, scan the QR code on your screen, and take our quick survey. Share your thoughts, and let's make your viewing experience even better.
Welcome back to Out of the Fog. In an effort not to anger him, I would like to immediately introduce the best dressed man at WKRP in Cincinnati. This is Hulk Caesar. Hey man, what's up?
Oh, not much. Thanks for having me. You have a sort of a 70s vibe going on here,
No,
maybe?
listen, I think it's amazing. Like, so the WKRP thing, of course, the reference there is, of course, to the era, obviously, and the way that you're dressed, which I think is rad as all get out, but then also it being about a radio show, and we are here to talk about, among other things, probably, because I tend to get on tangents, the Hulk Caesar show, which is it fair to say a podcast? Because you sort of got a couple of different, what was the way that formats was kind of how you put it together. So just first of all, tell us what the Hulk Caesar show is. Let's start there.
Well, the Hulk Caesar show itself is sort of an interview podcast in its main format. We have guests from the community. We did it here in St. John's starting back in probably 2020, just as COVID kind of started. I moved to
Needed something to do,
right? So it was remote then. It was just kind of me, kind of playing music and stuff.
Yeah.
Then I had the chance to interview Kim Mitchell. It was the first interview I ever did.
It was Kimmy Mitchell.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So I never ever aired it because it wasn't super great. It was my first interview.
And you forgot to decorate your
patio
with patio lanterns, yeah.
So, but I had a taste of it.
Did you share a
then.
milkshake?
No, it would have been nice.
Soda.
Of course, it was remote because of COVID.
Obviously.
But then I realized during COVID, everyone was sitting around with nothing to do. So I started reaching out all across Canada to different artists and musicians, and I ended up getting Sloan and Sam Roberts, Hannah Georges, Dan Mangan, Honeymoon Suite. We ended up with a whole bunch of different guests.
Dan Mangan was here in town not that long ago, too.
He was, yeah. I used to live in Vancouver, and he used to just play like little free shows here and there, and then he went away for one tour. When he came back, he was huge.
Yeah.
So I was doing that kind of during COVID, interviewing people online and then cutting in like their music tracks and stuff. And that was for CHMR-FM, the college radio station here at Memorial. And then when I was in Corner Brook for a couple years, Bay of Islands Radio, now called Bay FM.
Yep.
I did the Hulk Caesar show there.
Great name, Bay FM.
Totally.
Right?
Great bunch of people there too. It's a fantastic station. And I got all kinds of guests from the community to do that. Musicians, people from the university there, artists, all sorts of people. We had a lot of fun. And we recently moved back to St. John's about a year ago and started doing the show again here. Got back on CHMR-FM. Had all kinds of great guests again here from town. And just recently we kind of decided we kind of wanted to do some different things.
Yeah.
Live radio is fantastic. It's super fun for anyone who wants to give it a try. But it's Wednesday at 7 p.m. was when we did the show. It was then, it was on, it was done. Whereas we wanted to do some different things, and
which is great. Like, because I love live television. Like, I like Out of the Fog because we get the opportunity to tell stories for people who may not have been able to reach the same audience, right? And that's really cool, and I really like it. But I love the live thing because maybe it's the energy, because I'm such a big extrovert, that I get from it. But I know exactly what you mean, because everybody is so stressed about it. It's like, okay, wait, stay, no, don't move. Don't you wait there in 5, 4, and when they go live, it's live.
That's it.
It's like it is live. So I can see the value in both of them. And also reaching your audience. If you're doing it live, I mean, and you're doing it on radio, maybe you don't own that content after, and you can't necessarily put it in SoundCloud or on Spotify or on Apple, like wherever, right?
There's kind of gray area around it. We were able to put a direct recording of our live show on our website, not on an RSS feed or on a podcast, but as long as it wasn't edited and it was directly as it was played as an archive, we were able to do that, which was great. So we could put it on our website and people could listen to it there or download it and listen to it on their phones or whatever. But now, when podcasting has different pressures, because now I listen to it and I hear every click and hum and it takes me forever to get them all out, whereas in live it would just go.
I mean, AI can work on some of that stuff, though. Finding the spaces between. I've noticed just because I do video stuff for my real estate business, and there's a lot of that I mean, don't get me wrong, I love you, Director Joe, who edits all my stuff, but some of these platforms, and 95% is good enough for me. That's enough. I'd rather 10 95s than one 100 because of the speed of it, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
I find the ability to edit is obviously something kind of new to us.
Sure.
Because we're always live. So it does bring a lot of opportunity to have fun with it and kind of move things around. And when you have guests, you can say, you know, if you fool something up, just start over and I'll just cut it out. And wasn't able to say that to people before, to be just like, if you make a mistake, just keep going.
Yeah.
Right. So, and people have done it lots of times.
Don't climb up. Just like
So people have done it lots of times on the podcast. Say something, stop, start saying it again, and you never know they did.
And it takes away a lot of the fear if you have somebody who's nervous about being on and being interviewed, and you're like, well, I don't know, I don't like how I sound, I don't like, okay, then we'll listen to it after.
That's right.
And you tell them, if you don't like it, I won't put it up. But you're like, ooh, she better like it, because it's a lot of effort.
Well, I don't necessarily give them that much, but I do, after it's released, once or twice someone has contacted me and said, oh, I don't really know if I like how that sounded, would you mind taking it out? No problem.
Yeah, yeah, easy to do. So do you have, so right now you're self-producing.
That's right. So back to what I was saying, I kind of wanted to try something different. So we left the radio format and we wanted to do a podcast, so I kind of put a reach out to see if some hosts wanted to do it with me. And I do have two kind of regular co-hosts, Emily Malloy and Drew Party. Yep. So they kind of joined me on various shows. We kind of looked around trying to find a recording place in town, and there was a few options, but I'm pretty much paying for everything out of pocket, so I try to do it as cheap as I can. And the last time I looked was maybe 5 years ago, and equipment was still pretty expensive. But this time I looked, and boy, the prices have come down. I got
dramatically.
Dramatically, I got 4 podcasting mics and 4 arms for them, and I got a little device called a Zoom R4. I believe it's called P4.
Yep.
And it takes 4 mics, has 4 headphones, it records.
All separate channels.
Yeah, it's amazing, right? And it costs $200.
Yeah.
So Drew, one of my co-hosts, had a studio up above Posey Road down on Duckworth Street where they're doing art as part of their Hot for the Moment art project. And they offered me a kind of a corner up there to do the podcasting, so we set it up there, and we do kind of 3 different shows right now. We do the Hulk Caesar show, which is our main interview show. Last week we had the Swinging Bells, who were fantastic.
They're just good people too. Not only are they super talented, they're good people, and they're very accessible and enjoyable regardless of what demographic you fit into.
Definitely music for the young and the young of heart, they said.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
So they're delightful. We had them last week. We have Zach Snow tonight.
Okay, cool.
Media personality Zach Snow.
Yep.
We have Nico Paulo coming up. And, Kelly McMichael, Quote the Ravens going to be joining us.
I saw Kelly McMichael open for Hoxley Workman just last week.
That's right.
She's incredible.
Yeah, incredible. With the St. John's Collector on Instagram, they have this huge collection somewhere in the area. We don't know exactly where they are yet, but they're going to let us into their basement warehouse of all their pop culture collection, and we're going to interview them as they tour us through.
Cool.
So a lot of fun things going on there. And then our other format is Caesar's Masterpiece Theater, where we invite usually 1 or 2 of my co-hosts, and then maybe a friend and a special guest, and we watch a good or a bad movie, depending on how you want to look at it. And I create kind of a worksheet for them, and when they watch the movie, they fill out the worksheet, and we get together. So so far we've done.
So is it like a reaction type video, or is it more of like a book club after we've read it?
Yeah,
okay,
more of a book club after.
Yeah.
So we did Demolition Man.
Oh, goodness.
Which was a lot of fun. And we did Howard the Duck.
Wow, what a throwback.
We recently had Richie Perez on as a guest.
Great.
To do The Wizard, the Nintendo movie from the 80s.
Yeah, I remember.
Later this week, we're going to be recording an episode with Out of the Fog's Lori Loveless. She'll be joining us to do Con Air, the Nick Cage movie.
Okay, so I just got to say something here now. That is... I want to be sure that what I'm saying is true, because I've got this thing about, I don't always have to be right, but I need what I say to be accurate. Like I need it to be true. I will say that Con Air is my all-time favorite guilty pleasure movie.
I could see that. It's a fantastic movie to watch.
It really is. It's just like it's got all of the ups and the downs, and like the side storylines with like Steve Buscemi, like there's just
a lot to talk about,
right? Dave Chappelle, and you look at Dave Chappelle, the rest of his career, and who he was in that movie. Like that's a good movie.
We had planned to do it with Face Off as a double bill, but Face Off.
Yeah,
but
great.
That was the first episode we recorded of our new format, and we didn't quite have it down, so it turned out to just be a lot of me talking for an hour. So
and then John Travolta versus
Nick Cage.
No, I was going with John Malkovich.
Oh, yes.
Because like villain,
Yes.
right? So the two Johns, and
Yes.
and both of them are iconic in the way that they present in their characters as well. So it's like a whole thing.
Oh boy, and you look at Face Off and Nick Cage pretending he's John Travolta. Fantastic.
It's just, yeah, the whole thing. It's great. Okay, yeah, so, and you've got a third format.
We
you
have a
said.
third format. The third format is called Decades Radio. It's where myself and sometimes guests with me as well will take a period of time, someone's birthday or someone's graduation or a time in the past, and we'll find the magazine from RPM. And I'm not sure if you're aware of RPM magazine. It used to be kind of a Canadian Billboard magazine from 1964 until it folded in 2000. And they did a top 100 tracks and top 100 albums, and it was like considered the Canadian top 40.
Yeah.
So their magazines are all archived online. So just recently we did, I believe, a day in October in 1993, I believe it was. I can't remember the exact day.
Oh, this is going to hit me for sure.
So we found the magazine and kind of went through it and looked at some of the articles and some of the fashion. And I let my guests pick a couple songs off the top 40, which we played. And there was an article in there about Sam the Record Man in the Avalon Mall.
Okay, cool. Yes, yeah, I remember Sam the Record Man.
I had some pictures I had taken back in the 90s of the Avalon Mall, so I kind of flipped through those and had a look at them. So it's kind of like a trip down memory lane.
So where can people go? They go to hulkshow.com. And if they search whatever podcast format that they prefer, like some people do Spotify, some people are SoundCloud, and they just look for The Hulk Show?
The Hulk Caesar Show, yeah.
The Hulk Caesar Show.
It should be on all the podcast ones. If you find one that's not on there, let me know, and we'll get it on there. There's many of them.
Amazing. Hulk Caesar, Steve Sharpe, by the way, thank you, sir, for coming out. And thank you guys for watching, and we'll be right back after this.
Your opinion matters, and we want to hear from you. Get in touch with us using our viewer feedback line, your direct connection to shaping the shows you love. It's easy. Just grab your phone, scan the QR code on your screen, and take our quick survey. Share your thoughts, and let's make your viewing experience even better.
And welcome back, friends. So off camera, I often have quick little conversations with the people that I'm going to be discussing, whatever their thing is. And something that came up today that I thought was very powerful and I wanted to share with you is the fact that both of these things we talked about, self-producing a podcast and broadcasting 80 hockey games in a week, would have been entirely impossible or cost millions of dollars just 10 short years ago. And now we can do it for you like this, and that's amazing. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next week.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
We want to hear from you. Provide feedback on this show or find out how you can get involved. Call, email us, or scan the QR code to take our quick survey.
Here we are in Canada, where Canada's about to celebrate our talent, our people. This moment is changing your life forever.